Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Masks. I'm your host as always, Ray de Mascaras, and today we are going to celebrate something that hasn't happened in 25 years, so to speak. So, if you follow New Japan, you know that this is Best of the Super Juniors season. And this year, we had some Lucha Libre representation in the form of Titán. And for the first time since 1998, Titán made it out of the round robin and into the semifinals. And in facing El Desperado, everyone was pretty much expecting him to lose to Desperado and leave Desperado to face Mike Bailey. That did not happen. Neither of that happened, because Mike Bailey was defeated by Master Wato in a little bit of an upset, and Titán bested El Desperado to make the finals of the Best of the Super Juniors. He did not come out victorious, but he had an amazing run. He had an amazing run in the tournament. So this week, we're going to highlight one of my favorite Titán masks. So Titán was kind of my gateway to current day CMLL. I was mainly following AAA once the original Mystico left CMLL to go to WWE. I did, I kept up with it enough. I knew the players. I knew, who was there, but I started gravitating toward AAA with regards to the Lucha Brothers. So for a short time, Ring of Honor was bringing in the CMLL talent, and Titán was one of them, and kind of caught my eye, mainly for the mask. His mask game has always been next level. So as I started getting into mask collecting and, getting more ingrained with modern lucha, Titán, again, was someone who caught my eye, and I started watching him as he traveled the world before COVID hit. I know he traveled to Revolution Pro over in the UK and made a couple of other appearances. So as time went on and CMLL became, I don't want to say a little more available, but with the streaming on Tuesdays and other aspects, I started being able to follow it a little bit tighter, a little bit closer. And Titán was one of those that really caught my eye. So when I started mask collecting, I started looking for Titán masks. And while I don't have an official one from Titán yet, hint, hint, I've got some great replicas. And I'm going to show one of those replicas. I know a few of you wanted to see them all, but we're going to take it one at a time on this one. So without further ado, the Immortal Monster. This was something, this mask style really caught my eye when Titán first started using it. It was one of those, like, what is that? And it came to be, I don't know if I'd call it his consistent mask, because he normally would use it on special occasion, but he started breaking it out quite a bit. And this replica popped up, and I jumped all over it. I couldn't help myself. It was an eye catcher, to say the least. So you've got the design up top, you've got the eyes covered, and then you've got what's actually the space for the face. So face is totally covered. There is nothing there that would you'd be able to see through. I'll go ahead, I'll duck off and put this one on and try to talk about it a little more. It's it's a little fun trying to peek through this, so un momento. And here we are. It is on. This is a little bit of a snug fit, but it's something I can wear pretty comfortably and actually tie the back of it But there it is. That's how it looks while you're wearing it. It's a little fun trying to see, looking around my band cave up here. I know literally where everything is at, but if I didn't, I would have a hard time kind of seeing beyond about maybe 20 feet. Now, granted, the lights are the lights. You know, I've got the ceiling light here. I've got my ring light behind the camera. I would imagine it's a little bit different standing in a ring with numerous lights shining on you, especially in a place like Reino, Mexico. So, still, I would really like to know how it is to wrestle in something like this. Beyond the sight, I can't imagine what it's like trying to breathe, trying to catch your breath. This one's pretty, it's not airtight, but I can feel my breath as I talk. So how you go 10, 15, 20 minutes wearing a beast like this, I'm not exactly sure, but it's all the more impressive. So let's go ahead, take this off, put the other mask back on. So one more. And back again. Straighten that out. Wow. Did not do a good job on that, did I? There we go. All right, so put this one back on the head. So, anyway, this was an eBay purchase from a couple of years ago. It was made in conjunction with Reino. Looks like Rigo Rosas was the maker. There's the tag there. So over the years, Titán has used this particular mask style, but he's also started ingraining it a little more with his opponents. So for example, I believe it was last year, he wrestled Templario, and he made the design so that the inside of this piece of the mask was a Templario mask, and the monster was, you know, almost swallowing Templario, metaphorically. There was another instance, and I actually have this mask. I'll talk about it. Maybe next week. I'll cover fusion masks. It's something that I started out not doing and kind of got into, but maybe next week's a good week to highlight fusion masks. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about this one next week, but I've got another replica, which is the monster, and the inside part of the mask is Mystico. So I've noticed him kind of using that almost like a psych out with his opponents, which is really cool because you don't see something like that very often. So maybe next week I'll cover fusion masks. I've got a few right offhand. Maybe I can just do them all in one shot. I don't know. We'll figure it out from there. But yeah, this is one of my favorite Titán masks of the 4 that I've got. One of which I wore on Halloween last year, which got quite the attention from the neighbors when they'd bring their kids. But good attention. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, this is one of my favorites here. I hope to get something official relatively soon. I'm in no hurry. Okay, let's face it, I'm not patient about stuff like that, but you know, I've got a live show coming up here in a couple of weeks. RMAs, Gravity, Laredo Kid are going to be in the house, so I got to make sure I have the green for that before I start buying anything else. So with that said, that is this week's episode. As always, thank you for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to hear. It's the best way to grow the channel. So thank you all once again, and have a great week. We'll see you next week. As always, life, liberty, lucha libre. Until next time.